and it's all fine.
I was just gonna
So
say
I'm about to
that.
sneeze.
Well, hang on. Okay, so while you mute yourself while you sneeze, but well, okay, too late for that. But I was just gonna salute. I was just gonna say that sometime during the show today, I may have to. I may have to get up for a couple seconds and go let someone in. So,
Gotcha.
so you'll have to occupy yourself, but you're pretty good at that. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I got a bicycle.
I saw that you were posting about that on Twitter. Why were you getting? Why? I mean, aside from like bikes are cool, you don't strike me as a bike person, or you at least you
Well, if
haven't
you
until now.
do you remember, for a while I had a bike and I was biking all over the place in Seattle.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, it happened. I had a bike and I was biking all over the place. Um, but eventually I stopped, and the reason I stopped is because this is back when I lived on Highland Park.
Yeah.
You remember that hill? First of
I
all,
had of course I remember that hill. I had a car once that couldn't make it up that hill.
yeah. So that was part of it, and then actually, let me think about this now. I might have had it when I went to Brett's as well. I'm not sure. I'm a little hazy. So here's the thing. I do know that I had it when you and I worked next door to each other. So what years were you working in that building?
2001 to 2003.
Okay.
No. 2004.
Okay. 2001 to 2004.
Yeah.
Jennifer and I got married in 2005 in October. And I know that I was coming from the direction of Highland Park, but also the direction of Mount Baker. So that would have been coming from the south. And I was riding through. I want to say it was when I was in Highland Park. Hold on for just a second. Hey, Jennifer.
This is why, in case you're just joining us, this is why the show's motto is
Did
keep
I
it
ever
wrong,
have a bike
because
when
we
you
will
and I were
often be
dating?
bogged down in the little details like this.
I did. Okay. Did I have it when we moved to the bungalows?
The bungalows. Okay. I remember the bungalows.
So
I had to babysit a cat that they had at the bungalows.
Either my house or Brett's.
Cat was a little jerk, I'll say. I like cats generally. This was a kitten. Kitten kept attacking me. And so what did we discover?
So, yeah. I didn't have it in the bungalow. So it would have been when I lived either in Highland Park at Brett's house or, Highland Park or Brett's house, basically.
So anyway, you had a bike at one point. We've spent 5 minutes determining when you used to have one, but you have one again.
I have one again. It was way too dangerous in Seattle.
Yes.
Cars are not good. Edwardsville is the type of place where I can ride on the street, and then when a car gets too close, I can hop up on the sidewalk. No one really gets upset.
Yeah.
And I got a bike that is one speed with a thing called coaster brakes. Now, do you remember coaster brakes? You might have actually had a bicycle with coaster brakes at one time as a child.
Are those brakes where if you pedal backwards it brakes?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. The reason I got this type of bicycle is it's much simpler than a 10-speed or whatever.
Yeah. Not a lot of hills where you live, so having just one speed isn't really a big deal.
And if anything breaks on it or whatever, much easier to fix.
Yeah.
In general.
For a while over here, if you wanted to be a bicycling badass, you got yourself a fixie.
Yes, I've heard of the fixies.
Yeah.
Fixies, if I recall correctly, had no brakes.
Well, they didn't have coaster brakes. They may have had handlebar brakes. I do not know, but it was basically a 1-to-1 gear ratio between the pedal and the wheel.
Yeah, which is the kind of thing that I have, sort of.
Yeah.
Except it also has coaster brakes.
Yeah.
And I'm not riding it today because it's raining right now. But I've been riding it pretty steadily. Not a lot, like 2 miles a day, kind of, around that.
It's raining where it's 90 degrees today. Whoops. What happened? I hit something. It's 90 degrees here today.
I saw a picture of myself, though. That was odd.
There we go. Adjust.
Probably
there we go. 90 degrees.
Yeah, 90 degrees. I believe that it is probably hotter here. It was 94 here yesterday. And it may still be hotter yet. Oh, hey, guess what?
What's that?
My kid went to school.
Yeah.
High school, sophomore year, in-person high school. Today is the 11th? No, today's the 12th.
Yes, today's the 12th.
Okay, then it was yesterday. We got a letter from the school saying that there is
10 kids
with COVID who is at school on the 11th.
Yeah.
So, yay!
Is Illinois one of those states that is banning mask mandates? I don't think so. I think it's too far north.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I will say that, I've started wearing mine again anytime I'm in public, pretty much.
Yeah. I never stopped wearing mine indoors in a public place.
Yeah. For a while, the CDC said that if you were vaccinated, you didn't have to wear them.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do I listen to the CDC when I'm scared, but I don't listen to them when I am not scared? I should trust the science, whatever the science is telling me. So I didn't wear it, and then CDC started saying, go ahead and wear them indoors again when you're around a lot of people. So I did. And then by that time, I was just like, I'm just going to wear it has again become, for a little while, there was a sort of a give and take that, there's someone indoors not wearing a mask. Do they not believe in vaccines but aren't a jerk? Or are they, vaccinated but they care? I don't know. We'll see. In the same way, there's someone without a mask. Are they vaccinated or are they just a jerk? How can we tell? Now we're getting back to the thing where if you're wearing a mask, you're not a jerk. If you're not wearing a mask, probably a jerk, but don't know yet.
It's in Seattle. A number of places have reinstituted indoor mask mandates. My apartment building actually just reinstated the mask mandate indoor. They got rid of it for a while, so you could walk around without a mask in my apartment building. But they're like, nah, we take that back. You have to wear a mask again. But because I'm in Seattle and we hit like 70% fully vaccinated in this county, pretty, not early on, but maybe like about a month ago, I'm just assuming that anybody I see inside without a mask is vaccinated. Whereas when I was in the Midwest earlier this month or last month, if I was inside and somebody wasn't wearing a mask, my bias just said, you are not vaccinated. You think COVID is a hoax. Just blanket. I assume everybody voted for Trump when I'm in Utah or Kansas. And I was,
Is Utah the Midwest?
Utah technically is not the Midwest, but it was one of the states that I was in.
I gotcha.
I think it's considered a mountain state.
Boxes keep on falling down, man. I'm starting to put up shelves, and so I have a large stack of cardboard boxes. They were
Are you worried about Betty? I mean, there was somebody at school with COVID, so are you gonna go get them tested?
So Betty is vaccinated.
If it's the Delta variant, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm going to wait and see.
Yeah. That's one of the things.
Because the thing is that they contacted everyone that was in contact with the student, and we were not contacted.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah. But still, I don't know. The school always does things that are a little bit dumb. I figure that anything they do that's dumb is a concession to the dumb parents who have a lot of money.
Yeah.
The kids have to wear masks whenever they're in school, except during the 6-minute between class breaks when they're in the hallways.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
To me, that seems like a bad time to take a mask break.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I honestly think that there are some people that want people to die. This is what I've come up with. And I don't mean this in a I'm the Joker kind of way. What I mean by that is I assume that there are some people who are like your age, my age, whatever, who are like, well, kids used to die of mumps every once in a while. That was fine.
So
some kids got polio. They didn't die, but still we dealt with it.
Now that this wave of people who have had an opportunity to be vaccinated but chose not to are starting to fill up the hospitals, there is a backlash of people who need hospital services for non-COVID related things and are starting to get angry, like legitimately angry with the anti-vaxxers. I saw a video, it was on TikTok, but somebody posted it to Reddit, and then somebody like Facebook, whatever. I saw a video online where this dude's wife had like complications from breast cancer treatment and went to the hospital, and they were basically told, we have no beds, we can't help you, you have to go home, because the beds were all full up with people who need treatment for COVID-19. And the statistic says that 99% of these cases are people who are unvaccinated. So, like, anger is brewing. There are now, the two camps where on one side you have get vaccinated jerks because my wife with breast cancer can't get her treatment. On the other side, you have the but my freedoms people.
Yeah, I really do think that eventually it's gonna get bad. I at one point in time, I think I mentioned this, I was at a gas station one time and I had a mask on, and there was a guy, he was with his buddy, and was saying really loudly to his buddy, I mean, if you're scared, just stay home. Going out wearing a mask. If you're scared, just stay home. And I didn't say it, but this is back in the time where I was like, I'm wearing this for your protection.
You should have said that and like gone up to him with your mask on and said, I'm wearing this for your protection, but you're being a jerk now, so and then take your mask off and, haha, joke's on you, sucker.
And then kiss him. Big Bugs Bunny kind of kiss. That's, no.
Exactly.
Have we talked about Bugs Bunny lately, Ben?
What else is there to say about Bugs Bunny?
Well, here's my thing about Bugs Bunny. This guy is like, I'm attracted to Bugs Bunny whenever he's dressed like a woman. And I'm like,
really, a guy who says
friend,
that?
You're just attracted to Bugs Bunny. When he puts on a dress and stuff, it's better. But, that's still Bugs Bunny. No matter what he's wearing, it's Bugs Bunny that's in there. So the facet of Bugs Bunny that dresses like a woman, that's the part of Bugs Bunny you really like, but you can't divorce your attraction from Bugs Bunny to the appearance that he puts on. This is my new Bugs Bunny thought.
Speaking of being attracted,
the qualification of when he's dressed like a woman is unnecessary, because all in all, you're attracted to Bugs Bunny, and that's fine.
There's a new game for the Nintendo Switch called Boyfriend Dungeon.
Ah, yes. Your friend of mine, Stephen McCandless.
Did he send you the same link that he sent me?
Yes. I believe maybe he wants us to discuss it. I think it's charming. It's a dating sim and a dungeon crawler put together.
Well, the reason I bring it up now is the whole being attracted to Bugs Bunny versus being attracted to, say, a cat who's also a pair of brass knuckles.
Yes. Or you know, you're also your sword, you could date your dagger. There's a whole bunch of different. So what it is, just to explain for the people at home, dungeon crawler, and the dating sim is your weapons. You're dating your weapons, who are personified as human entities for the most part, but there is a pair of brass knuckles that is a cat.
I am a bit suspicious.
And I gotta say, yeah, you know, it is funny that, you know, furries have been around for a really long time. Back when I was on Telnet, you remember Telnet, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
There were mushes, muds, muses where you would play around and stuff like that. And one of them was all about furries, and people could, like, I'm a animal. And that was cool,
yeah.
Right? The cartoons, the sexualized cartoons of humanoid animals weren't really around on the internet as much at that time, because graphics being shared back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it took an hour to download a JPEG.
Yeah, and sometimes you'd be like, ooh, because you'd see like the first part of it, and that was you can't see, but we're showing our hands. It was line by line, basically, and occasionally people would make a joke where the first part was something, and then the second part turned out to be something else. That was kind of funny. And then occasionally computers would use dithering instead. So instead of doing that line by line, you would get dots, and the dots would form into a picture, which I thought was kind of neat. But what I'm saying is, Bugs Bunny really, you know, people talk about the fox in Robin Hood being their awakening to being a furry and stuff like that. But I think Bugs Bunny, intentionally attractive, made attractive by the animators who made Bugs Bunny. Again, nothing wrong with it, but I think that is a true statement. That Bugs Bunny was designed to be attractive to people.
I think there's a bit more to how Bugs Bunny was designed than Fleischer going, nah, just make him attractive to people. I want to start a thing.
I don't know. It might have been maybe a joke of some kind, you know, all that. But if you think about it, right?
I mean, there was definitely adult humor in those old Looney Tunes cartoons. Yeah. And if you look at the early Bugs Bunnies, he's not as attractive as the later Bugs Bunnies. They gave him a facelift, probably around the 40s.
So, and if you think about it this way, and I think you'll agree with me on this, more sexually promiscuous, Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse? Bugs Bunny, 100%. He's seducing Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, a bunch of unnamed human people as well.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Looney Tunes kind of had that market over Disney. I mean, they had the rapey cat, you recall. And
you're talking about the rapey skunk?
I don't know. It was the cat who chased... Oh, yeah, it was the rapey skunk who chased after the cat.
Well, actually, wait, Ben, no, you have a good point. You have a good point. Occasionally, in the Pepe Le Pew cartoons, there was a switcheroo where all of a sudden the cat becomes amorous towards Pepe Le Pew. This happens.
Yeah.
Mon Dieu! C'est
I
vrai!
Yeah,
Vive
but
la différence,
like,
Ben.
but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember anything like that in any Disney cartoons, except for maybe those bears. Always twerking when they're picking up the garbage.
Oh, well. Oh, can you hear that? There's thunder.
I can't.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get picked up on the audio. I don't know. Oh, speaking about which, I'm going to tilt this down a little bit, see if you can see.
Are we going to look at Edward?
This is not good. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm going to leave it where it is. I'm gonna take out for a second. Point this to here.
And we're losing you.
See what I'm looking at here, Ben?
No, it just looks like carpeting.
Oh, really? It is carpeting.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to see?
Yeah. Oh, great. Am I delayed now?
I lost the signal as the phone went to the floor. I think we've discovered there's about a 3-foot tolerance between your stuff working and not working.
Okay, so how are things now? Pretty good?
Yeah, pretty good. Speaking of pretty good,
there is a pause though.
Well, there's always lag for us.
Yeah, the lag is more pronounced now. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Ben. What were you going to say?
Well, last week during our Let's Revisit the GudeLaurance pieces from the past, we watched Let's Throw a Fish at Joseph. And I was recently working with a bunch of people who currently work with Joseph at his company.
Really?
And so I asked one of them, did he show you Let's Throw a Fish at Joseph yet? Because I know that he likes to pull that out at parties. And they had not seen it, so I pointed them to the YouTube clip, and I got a text from Joseph today that I want to read to you.
Oh no! Really quick. Joseph's company?
Yeah.
He has a company. That's amazing.
So okay. I'll explain that in a bit. But so anyway, he texted me this morning. He says, "Just saw Let's Throw a Fish again. Thanks for the memory."
Oh, good.
So I replied, "We should do that again." And he said, "You want to do a reunion fish episode?" And I said, "I think when Paul moves back to the Pacific Northwest, we should film Let's Throw a Fish at Joseph again." So,
and if nothing else, so this is something Jennifer turned to me the other day and she said, "You know, I feel like we're never going to move back. We're talking about, you know, the rising prices, all that sort of stuff. If nothing else, then I swear to you, I will travel back to Seattle just to throw a fish at Joseph Krebs."
You have it on record here, friends. Paul has promised to come back to Seattle to film a video.
So we will have to figure out a way to make it work. It won't be this year. Can't do it this year. All my vacation time is being used for other things.
Yeah.
Jennifer's brother is getting married. I don't know if I needed to say that on here, but you heard it here. So I'm going to that wedding.
Didn't even know Jennifer had a brother.
Oh, maybe she doesn't. This could all be something I wasn't supposed to mention. No, I'm sure that she would be fine with me mentioning that she has a brother. And I think her brother would be fine with me mentioning that he's getting married. I think all of this is above board. I think that all of this is fine. Oh! Speaking of which.
Yes.
Twitter drama, Ben.
Oh, God.
Twitter drama. I am not going to mention the accounts because it is possible that the person is mentally ill.
But
that being said,
yes, I need to tell you about it. So someone commissioned a map, or was trying to commission Dungeons and Dragons, things like that. People make fantasy maps, Ben. You know about fantasy maps. They're fake maps of other places. Well, there's this person trying to get somebody to give them a fantasy map. And, sometimes we've done, raffles before, famously spin the bottle raffles.
Oh, yeah.
So this person is trying to get a raffle started, and is trying to get commissions from people. And he goes to a certain cartographer and he says, "Can I get a commission for a raffle that I'm doing?" And the guy asks, "Are you a nonprofit? Is this for charity?" And the guy says, "No, this is to get new equipment for my podcast for people." And he says, "Okay, well, in that case, it's a commercial venture. It'll be $800.
Yep.
And the guy, and this is all over text, right? And the guy says, sort of sour grapes, "Well, I thought that you were better. I guess you aren't." That sort of thing. And the guy calls him out and says, "This is, I'm worth more than this. I'm not doing stuff just for exposure." They get into an argument. The guy stops, and then the other guy goes to Twitter and says, "Hey, never work with this guy. He thinks he's better. He's better than everybody else." And he threw some other people under the bus. And the way that he threw them under the bus is he was like, the guy said to him, "Well, I think this guy would do it for cheaper." And he said, "Well, that guy uses these map tools. I don't. I hand draw mine." So that's how he threw him under the bus. So all this is happening, right? Boom, boom.
Did you
boom,
find
boom.
this on a Choosing Beggars Reddit thread?
No, this is on Twitter, specifically on Twitter.
Well, no.
I found out about it on that forum. Yes, Ben, it was in fact on that. So he's shaking his head at me. Yes, Ben, you're right. But here's the thing. The creator, the map maker, the cartographer was like, "Okay, since this guy has called me out by name and said that I'm a bad person, here's our text message thread," and throws the text message thread out there. And everybody is, of course, "Hey, you need to pay artists," and things like that. And then somebody mentioned that if he's doing a raffle and he's not a nonprofit, he should look into the legality of that, because that can fall under racketeering or something to that effect. It can fall under some sort of gambling ordinance.
Yeah.
And you need to be careful. To which this person goes nuts. And granted, hey, this is I'm not naming a person. If you figure out who the person is, I should mention going nuts is I'm using this as colorful language. I'm not legally capable of stating what this person is as far as mentality goes. Also, this may not even be a person. This might be one person. This may be a bunch of Russian bots. Who knows?
Also, we've already mentioned the Reddit forum where you can find this conversation and
exactly.
look up these.
I'm not doing any of that stuff. So the person says, "Well, now you've done it. You've accused me of a crime, and therefore, when I have to get my clearance renewed, I'm going to have to get a lawyer, and you're going to have to get a lawyer because you're saying that I did something illegal, and I have to make sure that my behavior on social media is honest, and now you've called that into question, and so you better lawyer up because this is going to be fun for you to talk to the FBI and stuff like that."
which is, and so security clearances don't really work that way. The guy kind of, if any of this happened, if his boss really said, oh, well, this is going to come up your thing, it's a problem that he made for himself. Because if you're on the internet and you have an anonymous handle and you're not representing yourself as whoever you're there to be, you're not violating the social media thing. No one knows who you are. No one knows what you're doing. The social media thing is for, hi there, I'm a member of this branch of the military, and I believe that you should set fire to your house.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's a great way to get insurance money. That's me, this guy who works for the military.
But people have gotten in trouble on social media, even when they've not been acting as an agent or representative of their company.
Yes. But normally they're identifiable.
Well, no, right? I'm saying let's say a newscaster doesn't use their newscasting Twitter handle. They use their personal Twitter handle, and they have some sort of racist remark. They'll still get fired from their job.
Okay, so this is the other thing is that, boy, now you got me thinking, Ben.
I think, though...
Okay, I'm backing... So sorry, you got me thinking a little bit. Sorry, gears were turning. I think the thing where he said, hey, this specific user is a bad cartographer, you shouldn't work with them, and name the person, that is the point where I would say they're bringing this on themselves. Right? I think we can maybe agree on that. Or do you not agree?
Well, I mean, I only know so much as what you're telling me about this thread that you saw online. I don't really know all the details.
Well, okay, so the big thing is, I'm still,
I think a lot of people, even though they have their own personal their personal Twitter handle, my Twitter is my name, right? But still, some people might think that even if they're, even when their social media handles are their names, there's still that barrier between you and another person. There's still somewhat, maybe if they're not used to this sort of thing, there's still a sense of anonymity and willingness to say things they wouldn't normally say in person. And so a lot of people get in a lot of trouble by, outing some cartographer because you think he's slighted you in some way.
And this isn't the person's name, but let's say the person's name is Big Cartoon Baby, right? There's an image of them and they're a big cartoon baby, and they say, hey, I tried to work with this guy to make a map of my cartoon baby land, and now he's a bad person, right? And this person who he called out then posts a thing, and in the exchange, right, the name of the person is still Cartoon Baby Land, it's still Cartoon Baby and all that. And then the person says, I'm just posting this because, I want to make sure that people know the full story. And then the guy who's got the avatar that says Cartoon Baby Land and the name Cartoon Baby says, well, this is great. Now, when I go to work as a hiring manager for a nationwide insurance agency, people are going to think that I'm a bad person. Nobody did that to them. They've outed themselves at that point, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So no one knew anything about this person being someone who needed a security clearance for anything, whatever. They brought that to the table.
Anybody who posts those sorts of DM or tweet or messages, instant messages on a forum like Reddit or Twitter, generally if they're if they're being good people, they will anonymize. They will block out the names, the actual names. They will not reveal that personal information.
In this case, the person whose name it was, in this case we're saying Big Cartoon Baby, posted a thing saying, Randall Haversman is a bad person. And so then Randall Haversman came in and said, hi, I'm Randall Haversman. This is the text exchange I had with Big Cartoon Baby. So Big Cartoon Baby already kind of outed themselves at that point. So they could have the Randall Haversman could have anonymized it, but didn't have to because Cartoon Baby already set up what was going on.
So wait, what does this what does this all have to do with Bugs Bunny and a dress?
Oh, well, we'll get to that in just a second. And the answer is nothing. So I just went off on a different tangent. So this person then I remember. This is what it has to do with Bugs Bunny and a dress. Thank you, Ben. I'm sorry. So the person then says I thought this was a good community, but you're wrong, because people are like, you got to pay artists what they're worth. What you're doing is dishonest and potentially illegal. They freak out and they say, I've got this clearance. Somebody else says, if you really had a clearance, you wouldn't actually be talking about it on here, all that sort of stuff. And the person is fine. They delete their account. Twitter account is deleted.
Oh, wait, Big Cartoon Baby's Twitter account is deleted?
Big Cartoon Baby's Twitter account is deleted. Then,
losing all of that great content.
The next morning, it comes back. And the post is, my uncle can no longer use any of the internets. I'm only restoring his account because the doctors told me to. Pretty soon, no one will see this ever again except for the doctors. And I know that you all might be mad about this. You can get angry if you want to. But he is now undergoing treatment. So the guy apparently has had a psychotic break, and their niece or nephew has come in and taken over the account. And this is where the Bugs Bunny comes in. How I was talking about Bugs Bunny getting into a dress and becoming someone else, and this isn't Bugs Bunny anymore. This is Bugs Bunny in a dress or whatever. You and I, being of a certain age, Telnet, BBSs, all that, my instincts are screaming that this niece or nephew is still the same person.
Right. In some way to save face.
Exactly. So they're doing this thing. But the thing is that there are people on Twitter who have never had those experiences, have never had the experience of, this is his brother. It turns out that he's asleep, so now I'm typing. Did he say all these rude things to you? Well, I'm sorry. I'm a good person, or whatever. Same sort of deal.
On the internet, nobody knows you're a dog.
And so all that I'm saying is this consumed me for a while.
It sounds like it.
It was a drama thing, and I did not, in any stage of this, engage with the original thread and the original people. I talked about it with other people who were talking about it, but I did not do anything. And I was very pleased with myself for not getting involved.
I think you practiced some good restraint there.
The reason I mention all this is because you sent me a tweet for this saying, hey, Paul, if you quit Twitter, how will I be able to remind you that there's a show?
Yeah.
Which was weird because you weren't you didn't read any of that thread. But when you said if you quit Twitter, I thought you were making a reference to this thing that had me obsessed all day. And I was like, how does Ben know about this? And I realized, using my thinking brain, Ben doesn't know about this. It's a coincidence.
I could be all-knowing. I could have known about it and just trying to mess with you.
It is possible. For all I know, Ben, you're the demiurge, and I exist in a world that is created by you specifically to torment me for whatever reason. It's not very tormenty. The level of torment is workable. I don't have too much of a problem with it, which is good.
I mean, that's funny you say that because the people we watched Let's Throw a Fish at Joseph, and one of the guys says that a fish throwing at Joseph aside, the movie is a treatise on how frustrated Paul can make you. And I'm like, you should see our movie called Location.
Yeah. It's true. I am the reverse of the situation that I laid out. And isn't that always the way, Ben? Don't the people that actually do the thing accuse other people of doing the thing? That's how it seems to be to me. For sure. I see that you're reading something.
McCandless has been commenting on our conversation thus far.
Can we check in with Stephen McCandless and see what he's been?
You want to go back that far? It's been almost 45 minutes.
Well, might as well do it. What else are we gonna do? I ask you.
Well, let me see if I can put all of this in context without just reading it. He says we were talking about masks and masking. He says he's upgraded to N95 only. He's never not masked. It doesn't matter. We're all doomed.
Yeah, I would say that's very par for the course with Stephen, and yeah, probably true. Probably true.
Then we started
going to fall out of this thing.
Then we started talking about people being attracted to Bugs Bunny in drag and not admitting that they're attracted to Bugs Bunny. He says, which brings up the most disturbing element to Loki. Is it better or worse to meet yourself and find yourself attractive?
Better. Absolutely better.
I remember a solo performance piece. I think it was from John Kaufman. And in it, he meets an alternate version of himself. So two Johnnies in the same space interacting, and had a whole diatribe on whether or not he was allowed to give himself fellatio, to fellate himself.
Yeah. It's the obvious, this is why time travel is impossible.
And then he
to avoid that.
Yeah. And then we were talking about the boyfriend dungeon thing, and I think this was just a comment to me because he said, I sent you both a link to boyfriend dungeon because I thought a little prep would be helpful. Steven, you have not watched this show at all.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about the cat as brass knuckles, and it's a whole it's a dating sim but a dungeon crawler. And he says, I'm only attracted to the brass knuckles when they're dressed like Bugs Bunny.
Nice.
And then following that up
Very
with,
good, Steven.
Oh yeah, so and then you mentioned that Bugs Bunny was designed to be attractive. Steven says, I don't think anything can be designed that isn't attractive to people.
True, that's part of designing things.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And then, as you were talking about that Twitter drama / Reddit post, he says, would it be fair to say that Paul thinks this much about Reddit posts commonly?
Yeah. There's always one I'll give you another one. So there's do you remember Good Luck Charlie?
The name sounds familiar.
It's a Disney TV show.
I may have heard of it, but I do not believe I have ever seen it.
Yeah, so the person who played the mom on Good Luck Charlie moved to Tennessee and became a huge anti-vaxxer.
Okay.
Or maybe was already a huge anti-vaxxer and then moved to Tennessee. But yeah, just did a whole thing about how they shouldn't have to wear masks. I think this might be one of the things you're talking about. How people are trying to pass laws that say that you can't mandate masks in their states.
Right.
Also known as the Paul Please Never Come to This State initiative.
Well, then Florida and Texas are on your no-go list.
I will not go to Florida and Texas. Easy enough. Ooh, they've got the Star Wars thing, though. That's too bad.
Don't care about Florida, but I got family in Texas. I actually like it. I like it down there.
You know, here's the thing. I like Texas, too. In fact, two of my favorite online people, at least, live in Texas. And when I say two of my favorite online people, I mean specifically, there's a forum. I don't know them personally, but I get an impression off of them that I like them online, and if we were to meet, we would get along. Anyway, they both live in Texas.
Is it Joe Rogan and Robert Rodriguez?
Hey, you got it. No. Although I don't know. Has Robert Rodriguez killed anyone or done anything weird?
Like you say,
Joe Rogan.
I'm hesitant to say anything positive about Robert Rodriguez because I know the moment I do, someone's going to forward me an article about how he's a terrible person. I have nothing. I have no qualms against calling Joe Rogan a bad person. I don't know if he's a bad person. I just don't enjoy listening to him.
So I would say a couple of things about Robert Rodriguez. I enjoy his films.
Yeah.
I think he is a good filmmaker. And I don't know anything about his personal life. Although I do know that he made some kids movies for his kids, so that's kind of cool. I like it when that sort of thing happens. Rick Moranis, quitting acting to spend time with his kids. I like that too. Pretty cool. Joe Rogan, great opinions. I'll go ahead and say, okay, so I was checking to see how much of a delay there was by seeing what happened with your face.
Is this a revisit of the Paul thinks what is it? What's his name? Dane Cook is a good stand-up?
I still I will go on record to say Dane Cook much better stand-up than me.
Joe Rogan, he's not on the side of the anti-vaxxers. He's just asking questions about whether or not these vaccines are safe.
He said at one point in time that if you wear a mask, you are less of a man. I believe he said something to that
did
effect.
he? But where's he wearing this mask?
He either implied it or he, asked the question in such a way, like, there's a difference between, do you think that if you wear a mask, you are less of a man? And asking, aren't you less of a man if you don't wear a mask? No. See, my brain couldn't make me say the bad one.
Aren't you less of a man if you die?
Aren't you less of a man if you wear a mask? Is what. Anyway, here's the thing. I can listen to Joe Rogan and not be annoyed, but my mind is always working, going, well, that's spurious right there. Oh, I don't know about.
That generally tends to make me turn something off.
What's that?
That if I'm listening to something and I'm like, well, that seems like a dubious claim, I generally, stop listening to that. Especially if it's every time. Like if I'm listening to Fresh Air and Terry Gross says something and I'm like, well, that seems kind of spurious, I'll probably still keep listening to see what she has to say about it, but.
I will tell you this: if you're in an industry where someone listens to that sort of thing, this is back when I was doing electrical work. Sometimes I would be in a truck with someone and they would be listening to, I'm not saying Joe Rogan specifically, but an AM personality whose views I did not always agree with. I would be listening to them,
Hugh Hewitt.
and I would have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it was their truck. They were the ones listening to it.
You couldn't just reach over in the truck of an electrician and change the channel to like KUOW or KEXP.
You slap my hand.
Yeah.
Most likely. But I would say this: Joe Rogan, although this is how I would say this, because having moved to
don't
the
make
Midwest,
me put Joe Rogan in the show notes. We're talking about him too much.
I would just say, in general, I'll just say this: in general, when you are in a location where I forgot, this is the other thing I was going to mention: Madison County, where I live, 45% vaccinated.
Is that
45%.
good? I mean, it's
not real.
It sounds really small, but is it good for like the political climate that's around Madison County?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I was expecting it to be like 30%.
Yeah.
But the basic thing is this: if you live in a place, especially if you're in a workplace with a whole bunch of right-wing folks, Joe Rogan is like an acceptable sort of mid-range thing, because even if I don't necessarily like him all the time, a lot of his guests are people that I'm interested in, like Sturgill Simpson was on his podcast, and I like that guy a lot.
YouTube is constantly trying to get me to watch a clip of Michael Imperioli and Steven Sciarippa on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about James Gandolfini. And I'm watching The Sopranos right now, so I'm like, oh, what do these guys have to say about him? But I do not click it because I do not want YouTube to start throwing up every single Joe Rogan clip.
Oh, here's something that YouTube has done that I love. Craig Ferguson. I am getting a whole bunch of Craig Ferguson episodes suggested to me. And here's what it was: is I was looking for Stephen Wright. I saw Stephen Wright on Craig Ferguson. And then it just started all these Craig Ferguson clips, and they're great. Craig Ferguson is probably my favorite interviewer.
Yeah, agreed. There's also, actually today, something happened that is connected to Craig Ferguson. So he has a Craig Ferguson has a pretty famous I'm going to stop making fun of Britney Spears monologue on his show. I don't know if you've seen this, but like up until this point, all the late night talk shows are just like making fun of Britney Spears, and he identifies that she actually has some problems and she has issues, and he's like, she's a baby, and she can't grow up this fast and have these kinds of problems because she's only like 25. So I'm going to stop making fun of her because that's the right thing to do. And he was like the only one to ever say something like this.
I think I actually saw that live.
Yeah. So today, there's this whole Free Britney movement, right? Where she's trying to get out from underneath the conservatorship of her father because she basically cannot live her life. Today, her father stepped aside as her conservator. So Britney, I'm sure there are more steps, but the Free Britney movement has moved forward some today.
Yeah, and how old is she now? She's got to be...
I have no idea. Mid-30s, maybe?
Yeah. So, interesting. It'd be nice to see what happens with her, without having that.
There's also, if you're hoovering up Craig Ferguson clips, there's an interview he has with Robin Williams where it's just like they are so equally matched when it comes to improv and joke making, and just it's amazing to watch.
But the thing about Craig Ferguson is he has a little bit more, because I saw that one, and Robin Williams was doing some things with like deaf folks and things like that, and you could see Craig going,
I don't remember that part.
Well, he might have been on more than once.
The one that he definitely was on a show more than once, but the one I'm thinking of was like one of his last one of his last appearances, because somebody like on the comment section was pointing out how you could tell that Robin Williams was like hiding his tremors, because he was, you know, he had some physical issues near the end of his life, and was trying to hide it. So you can see like he's holding one of his hands in a very you don't notice it when you're watching. It just looks like he's, you know, on, you know, sitting in a chair. But when someone points out, yeah, he has this disease where, you know, his hands are trembling, and he's trying to hide it because, you know, for whatever reason, you know. And once you look at it in that, with that perspective, you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of what he's doing.
Yeah. I like Robin Williams a lot.
Yeah.
And so, well, on that note,
boy, where did this hour go? Oh wait, we were talking about Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, were we? Interesting. You know, a funny thing happened on Twitter. I don't know if I've told you about this.
Oh no.
I'm not going to do it.
Steven used to listen to Art Bell. Have you ever listened to Art Bell?
Oh, listen to Art Bell all the time.
Yeah,
I used to.
That was apparently that was a popular ambulance soundtrack for Steven.
Man, Art Bell was it for quite some time, and I think Steven would agree with that.
Actually, Steven, if you're listening, a couple weeks ago, John Oliver talked about AMR on Last Week Tonight. Check it out.
Really?
Yeah, he was talking about how in like 37 states, EMTs
AMR
are not
is an ambulance company.
And in 37 states,
know.
in 37 states, EMTs are not considered essential services, and so they're not publicly funded.
Wow.
So yeah. And AMR was one of the examples given.
There was something about food.
Food?
And I can't remember what it was. Oh, there was a Burger King where everybody quit. Do you remember that, or did you hear about it?
Well, you'd have to be more specific. I heard a number of stories about fast food workers just walking out of the job.
Well, there was one where I saw the clip of it because she was recording it, where the manager used the B word to one of the employees when talking to them about them having to do something.
Really?
And then they, I don't know. It was one of those situations where they weren't going to fire the guy. And maybe they eventually did, or they just suspended him or whatever, but it got so bad that everybody quit in solidarity, kind of. This is what I saw on Reddit, Ben. That's where it was.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we're getting an incoming call.
Oh. Hey, Ben! Who knows if she'll come in? Hey, there's a call. Hello? Can you hear us?
I've sent the caller to voicemail. Goodbye.
Ah! Damn it. You gotta push so many buttons. Oh, well, let me call him back.
Like, wait a second. Who is that lady calling us to tell us about voicemail?
How do you...
If that doesn't make it to the clip,
there we go.
It won't make sense.
All right, I'm calling you.
Oh, look! Hey, Betty's showing up. Oh, we could have Betty talk to Steven, if that's who it is.
Yeah.
Steven!
Hey!
Hello.
Hey. So Steven might be on.
Steven, can you hear me?
Hello.
I guess not. Hey, Betty, how's it going?
Good.
I can't hear.
Who is this other man?
anyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that.
Who is
I
this
think you
other
called
man?
me. Did I call you?
Oh, there we go. Where is it? Betty, you are here for a what I like to call Ben tries to figure things out on the fly. Hooray! And it didn't work. And that
Your
data
keyboard is weird.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a big old
deal.
failure.
I'm wearing 2 sets of headphones.
He's all right. He's calling again. Let's answer.
Call from.
Yeah.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Alrighty. Steven probably still can't hear me because the microphone. Okay, let's just put this in.
It's musty in here.
Yeah. How is it?
I can't breathe.
All right. Well, thanks for visiting.
Yeah, I'll go. I need to.
Oh, there we
I
go.
need to breathe
How's that?
air.
All right.
And I'll be done.
Have a good one. Bye.
Okay.
Now I can.
Well,
hear
that was
you.
cool.
Oh, can you hear us, Steven?
Yes. I'm going to walk away from my radio now.
Oh, yeah. Turn your radio down.
Okay, so Paul
Yeah.
obviously can hear. I can hear you. Hey, Steven. How's it going?
There's a little echo, but that's cool. Hey,
Yeah.
I just wanted there was a great anecdote, and I'm sorry if you want to talk to Betty first. Is she still there? Please.
No,
talk to
we
Betty.
she's
bored
gone.
we bored them.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Well,
I mean, they're gone. Yeah! I did it.
I just wanted to say there was in terms of this, so I'm
You're breaking up, sir. We can't hear you.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Now I
What about
can.
now?
All right.
So the idea was the term is third service.
Third service.
Right. As a third co-equal branch of emergency services. So fire departments aren't big on this. They do a lot of medical calls. And if all you're doing is putting out fires, you don't have a lot to do. So from like 29 years ago, Lincoln County Council has discretionary funds that they can put towards sort of pet projects of theirs without going to the public vote. And then there's called a council-manic expenditure. And then they have funds that for other projects past a certain point, they have to put that to a vote. So what they do is the council-manic fund, they can direct personally, are going to be very hot. And they in a landslide. 1 year, they were happily practice, and King County, and it.
Steven, you are fully only getting like 1 word out of 10 now.
Are you in a clean room?
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Oh. Did we lose him?
No, he's still
The
on
last
the
thing I heard
line.
was he said, "Okay, fine, sorry."
I am just contributing. Maybe next time, I don't know. On a VoIP line.
I'm blaming Ben. I think it's a problem with his setup.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's me. I mean, I got to figure it out eventually.
All right. Well, I don't to screw up the podcast.
We like you, Steven.
That's not bother to say.
I told him to call in today, and I'm glad you did, Steven. I just wish we could hear what you were saying.
Yeah, it's always something.
All right. Well, and he's gone.
Well, and he's gone. It'll be interesting to see what the people hear from the recording.
The people will hear exactly what you heard.
Okay. Just making sure, because my headphones, as we've established, aren't great for phone calls.
Yeah. Oh.
But, Ben, it's that time again.
Why? Oh, that's why you're so loud. Hang on a sec. All right. Yeah, it
Time
is
for
that.
us to
It is that time. Time for us to go.
mosey, as they say. Ben, I always enjoy talking to you, and between now and the next time we speak, I would like to request.
Well, I hope you keep it wrong as well, and I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Ben.
Bye,
Room
Paul.
tone.
You're still so loud. Why are you so loud?